Today on Fight Inside Podcast, we will have Charisa Sigala, who will be fighting at Super RIZIN 3 in Japan. Plus, we'll break down Jake Paul versus Mike Perry and discuss if the king of violence should be fired. All that and more. So, Tim, hit it! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fight Inside Podcast.
This guest, I am so happy. There's guests that we have on the podcast like a second time. And this has always been one that I wanted to see again for the second time. And I'm so glad that you get the chance to meet her. I first had her on 2 years ago. We were talking about Bkfc. We love Bkfc here, obviously. She was the original Bkfc fighter. She was the face of Bkfc. She still is the face of Bkfc. She changes her name from the sweetheart to the Bkfc sweetheart, Raine. And now, after a small hiatus out of the ring while she was recovering and leveling up, she now gets put on what has to be the most incredible card that Bkfc has ever put on. I cannot believe that this is happening, Raine. The Saitama Super Arena in Saitama, Japan. I'm probably saying that wrong. Do not miss this. It is RIZIN and Bkfc putting on a spectacular card. If you're going to do that, who else do you call but this guest? Raine, bring her in.
Please welcome Charisa, Bkfc sweetheart, Sigala.
Love it. First time going outside of the US, going to Tokyo, and I'm like, trying to figure out the dates.
That is crazy. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I'm wondering like if this was your first time traveling overseas and specifically traveling overseas to fight.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So that's always been my dream, was to, with fighting, was to be able to travel and get to see all these amazing places in the world. Japan was definitely a bucket list. Australia is another one. Ireland. I mean, we got Conor McGregor now, and supposedly that's supposed to help us get into Ireland. I would love to fight there. And then I heard Spain. I was like, bring me to Spain. It's I think September, right? I was like, I could fight this one, then jump onto the Spain card. Why not?
Yeah.
Who better than the girl that brings it every time? I'm not scared of the dog fights.
Exactly, Charisa. Charisa, welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so happy that you're
for having me.
Yeah,
thank you. I love being here.
And this is my new co-host, Ringside, Raine. She's a ring announcer in California for Up Next Fighting.
Okay, so you know Ashley.
Oh, Ashley Evans-Smith. Yeah.
I love Ashley. Yeah, she's one of the Sucker Punch girls, and I've hung out with her a couple times. We went to a comedy show in LA. I love her.
Yeah. Wow. She's the best.
She's amazing. Oh.
Yeah, she's incredible. Yeah, and then so she's there all the time. And yeah, Raine is the cage announcer there. So very cool. Yeah.
I need to go over there and do some ringside commentators. That would be fun.
Yeah, definitely. Charisa, I'm so happy that you got this call. Like, this is freaking crazy that BKFC,
yes.
I mean, bringing bare knuckle to Japan, where that they're going to love this. Like, that they're going to love the combat sports and the excitement. Nobody puts on a better show than Bkfc with the lights, the action, the production value of what they do. And like you said, no one brings a better dogfight than Charisa Sweetheart.
Oh, yeah, I know. And so I forget the guy's name. There was someone from RIZIN fighting a guy who's done like 1 or 2 Bkfc fights, but it wasn't really big, and it was before they announced this whole partnership. So I think they wanted to test it out and see how it would do with RIZIN, and it did good. So they're like, let's throw it on this, and then on top of that, to see Pacquiao on this card too, I was like, oh my god. That was after like I had said I was gonna do it, but yeah. Are you Filipina?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, my aunt that's married into my family, she's Filipino because I'm Mexican and German, And my fond memories of Christmas was when she had the fights of him fighting, I think it was Marquez at the time, in our living room, screaming at the TV because she's from the Philippines. My uncle went out there, married her, brought her back. He's since passed, but my she's still my aunt no matter what. I have cousins, but yeah, just listening to her just screaming at the TV, like that city, that country loves Pacquiao. I love it. I love it, and I loved him watching, growing up watching him, so it was cool. And I think that was the first boxing match I ever saw, and I was like 10.
But how crazy that you're on a card with Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm all Bkfc, like just going to Tokyo Nut was like, yes. And then seeing I didn't know until I saw the advertisement. I was like, wait, I'm under Pacquiao. Like, what is this? I'm like, Pacquiao's face is right above me.
It's insane. Now, how early are you going to be in Japan? Like, how early will you go out there?
It's that same week. It's just a couple days. I want to try to stay a couple days later. But yeah, it's a good and a bad thing because obviously I have the time difference. She doesn't because she's coming from Thailand. So I do have that little time change, but I'm used to that. I did it when I went training with at JW. I've gotten tips from people that I know a commentator who used to commentate for them, for Strikeforce, for Pride back in the day. So, they've given me little tips here and there and told me like, oh, try this. Don't sleep when you get off the plane. Wait until it's actually nighttime there, things like that. I think I'm more worried about them telling me that you're going to gain weight without eating on the plane just because of the plane ride there. I'm like, no. They said it's just a couple pounds, but I'm just like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm like, look, I'm so excited for this. We were talking about it before, like when we knew that you were going to come on the show. Here's one thing you have to do for us, Charisa. As you're in the media day stuff and like Manny Pacquiao's around, all you need to do is go like, oh man, being on that Fight Insight podcast was so great for my career. What, like, that really is important. And you just need Manny and you need Manny to go like, what was that? And you go, the Fight Insight podcast, Manny.
Hey, I had like a little way that I could like be like, hey, we train with the same person. Like, I don't train with Fortune anymore, but like Fortune was his trainer and I trained with Fortune for my last fight. So, get a little in there where I can be like, hey,
nice.
I know Fortune.
Now, here's one thing, Charisa, and I haven't seen it yet because here's the fight poster here, and you're facing Ty Emery. And like you said, I think she's Australian, but she trains a lot in Thailand.
She trains in Thailand.
Yeah. And she's fought bare knuckle before. She's fought for bare knuckle Thailand.
Yeah, she fought twice.
Yeah, so she's fought there. So she's experienced. So this is a good matchup for you. And I'm really excited for you. But the thing is, this poster, can you think of the one thing that I have a problem with this poster?
I hate the pictures. I hate that picture. I was like, what is this? But I'm not sure what else.
Raine, what do you think I take issue with of the poster? What do you think my problem is with the poster here?
I don't
Why
know.
is her arm over me?
No. It's that I feel like they should have made the posters anime style. They should have drawn you as anime. Like, it would have been so freaking cool if they made like anime posters of you guys. You know what I mean? So, but here's the thing, and I didn't pay for any apps, Charisa, but I tried to go to those what do you call it? Those AI drawing tools.
Yeah.
And I think I suffered a lot of viruses getting this for you, Charisa. But this is the best.
Should have used Canva. I use Canva for everything. You should have used Canva.
Wait, and will it create drawings for me?
They have AI. Yeah, there's a whole AI. They have Magic Studio. You could tell it what you want, but it's all good.
All right. Look, this is not great, but here you go. This is my Charisa Sweetheart Sigala anime version.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I was using AI to try. None of them looked right, but we were trying to make for the shirt because I was like, I want a shirt like because it's Japan, so I want like a warrior style shirt. None of them worked. I ended up just like taking an old picture from one of my fight pictures that I had and just taking off all the logos and using it for my shirt. But the shirt came out really cool because it's got like I think they put Mount Fuji on there, and the back is like a samurai.
Oh.
So I was like, I want something very, very like Japanese inspired because I've always loved Japan and like the Asian countries because that's sort of one of the backgrounds in martial arts. So I think and I love that philosophy that they have, and just Eastern versus Western medicine, Eastern versus like Western combats, and even this fight because Thais only really face Thai fighters. Like, her girls were both Thai fighters. I fought many different styles. I have, even MMA, like I fought kickboxers and people that were just Thai. So like her style is something that I know, but she's only fought Thai fighters, so it's going to be fun seeing that difference. And she's a forward pressure fighter, so this one's going to be one of those fights where it's just going to go all out. So I love that.
Yeah,
like even the times where I'm like, okay, it's time to calm down. Nope. Like, yeah, I get in there, I'm like, nope, it ain't happening. I'm like, my coach is like just a little bit. I'm like, nope. We're gonna use technique, but it's gonna be a technical brawl.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot wait. I think that this is going to be so exciting. 40,000 people in the Saitama Super Arena.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Have you ever performed in an arena like that big?
Heck no, but it's okay. I tune everything out, whether it's 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100 people, it don't matter. Like, I'm a mom. Like, I know how to tune out. Like, I like ignore my kids sometimes when they're like, oh, make me feel like, especially when they're fighting. So when I get in there, all I see is the person in front of me. And then sometimes all I can hear is their corner and my corner. And that's it. Mm-hmm. Even when everybody's screaming, like, my first fight with Bkfc, that was the crazy thing, as I said, that everybody was like standing ovation and screaming. I heard none of it. Like, in my head, all I heard was her coach yelling at her. My coach, I could sort of hear, but I could hear more her coach yelling at her, and then the ref, and then the bell. That's it. So everything to me just black out, and you just see what's in front of you, and that's it. And that's how you want it to be. Like,
it's
yes, the crowd screaming is okay, but like, that's you just want to focus on what's in front of you when you're a fighter.
Yeah, it is so exciting. Now, so when you're going out to Japan, who are you going to have with you? How many people go out with you?
We're only allowed one. We tried, but Arlene Blanco is going to be my corner. She was supposed to be my corner for Paige. It didn't happen, so it's all coming full circle. It's cool. I've trained with her, at Jackson Wink. I went back there again. We missed each other this last time because I'm not training at Jackson Wink right now. I'm training in California. But the last time that I was out there, I missed her. She was back in Australia, and I love her. I mean, her very similar. We have very similar like history with our kids' age, like starting at MMA when we started, and she just won her PFL belt. I mean, it was still considered a Bellator card, but she had Conor McGregor, who is one of my bosses, on the other side of her, against her, and she won. So I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like the whole thing that's happening with Bkfc, and so you brought up Conor a couple times. Mm-hmm. How crazy is that for you? Because because you're an OG, we've had several other Bkfc fighters since that whole merger has happened. But I mean, do you foresee this as changing things a lot for you?
Oh yeah, and then I think a lot of things are sort of changing, and it's not so much with the company. I just think in general because Conor brings even more to the table. It brings more eyes, right? So us people that are homegrown fighters, even though I started MMA, I fought Combate, I made my name in Bkfc. So people know me, so I'm still a homegrown, right? So it's really cool seeing the homegrowns getting the recognition that we couldn't necessarily have when we first started. We needed the UFC fighters like Paige, who's ran away and decided to go, slap bitches instead of, take my fight, but that's okay. I was like, it's fine. Does more to my character than hers. So we don't need people like her anymore as much.
Right.
We still need more. I think the female division definitely is going to need more people, whether it's, big names or people that aren't big names. I think it just needs to be people who want to get in there, want to throw down, actually want to fight, versus sometimes taking that chance on people that don't know what they're getting into as a UFC fighter. Even for a minute, like I know Arlene was like, I would totally go in there and fight like Christine Faria, like, and she even posted like on one of their posts back when they say they couldn't fight anybody. She was like, I totally fight her. Like she's fought Cyborg 2 times, yeah, twice, and went the distance that last fight, and they were nice bloody battles, and she's boxing background, so she's good. She's a very good striker. It was fun watching her and Holly when they spar.
No, I appreciate what you're saying too, because you're right. Like the homegrown stars of BKFC are like homegrown stars. Like we all know them. Mm-hmm. But in order to help bring in some more eyes, that's why obviously they do things like that. Like they'll bring in some MMA people or some stars or whatever it is to try and bring in some eyes. I was always surprised that Rachel Ostovich never fought again.
I know.
Surprised? Like where did she go?
I feel I know she had a couple like posts where she wanted to, but I feel like a couple of them, like her, even Paige, not so much Beck, because Beck was an OG. She would fight whoever, but like some of those bigger names, like you see with Perry, like they only want bigger names, so they only want people that they're gonna have to pay a lot for, right? So BKFC is doing good, and they're getting the recognition and everything, but there's still budgets when it comes to all of these fights, and
right.
So it's like you got the names, but is there names enough to bring in the profit that's gonna make to bring in this extra name just for that fighter? For Perry, yes. Some of these other people, I don't think so much. Someone like Paige, probably, because Paige brings it. Not so much I don't know about anymore. People still watch her, but I don't know if they'll pay to watch her. Because I feel like...
You want to know something really terrible? I downloaded the Rumble app to watch her go to slap fighting.
Where she didn't get DQ'd and should have gotten DQ'd, but whatever.
Wait, why should she have got DQ'd? The clubbing?
You didn't see that video? It wasn't the clubbing. They're not supposed to move. And there was I saw 3 videos while a girl she's like moving her head. So I'm like, how is that not a DQ? How is that not okay? Why isn't she getting warned? And it was one of them wasn't obvious, but the second one was really obvious. You saw her moving the hand come right after. So
I didn't see that.
You could tell she was moving her head.
Wait, did you actually watch it live? Were you watching the whole thing?
Okay. Hell no. I wouldn't pay for that. I don't know. Slap fighting.
It was free. It was free.
Doesn't see. Okay, well, I still would watch it. I keep looking because Millennia had the Jacqueline on there, Jacqueline Callan. So I didn't know her really well, but I did train there while she was there for doing sparring while I was getting ready for some of my fights. She's dating one of the guys that I trained with a lot. So, I still feel like it was a team that I was a part of, and I like supporting people, even if they don't know who I am, who were a part of that team. And then also Katerina, that girl. Yeah, and she's a BKFC girl. Yeah. So, because they were going against each other.
Yes,
and
that's right.
Katlin was the one who got DQ'd for clubbing that first one, then knocked the girl out, but it ended up being a DQ because of the club. And then she won this one because Leonard was clubbing.
Yeah. Now, it's so funny because it's when the Olympics come on and you start watching Olympics and Charisa, Raine, I don't know about you guys, but within 5 minutes I become a master of the sport. I'm the best diving judge. Then I'll become the greatest whatever badminton judge. I'm the you watch it and suddenly you're the best. I'm watching this stupid slap thing. Okay, to make sure we put things into context here, Charisa, will you ever do power slap?
No.
Okay,
No.
good. Okay.
It's not really my thing. Like, I don't even want to watch. Like seeing the things afterwards of somebody knocking somebody out with a slap, cool, but I don't want to watch it. Like, it's not exciting to me.
Okay, good. So we're not going to ruin your prospects here, Charisa.
No.
It is the dumbest thing. It is the dumbest thing ever. Like,
yeah.
Like,
no, 100%.
Because what you're saying is like, I didn't notice that Paige was like moving her head. Like, I didn't become the expert judge that I should have. But
you might not have noticed it. You might not have noticed it because the angle of the camera. It was somebody's story that I saw it. Like, it was a couple stories, and it was funny because it was shared on their story. So that might be why.
Okay. So good. Okay. But it's the dumbest thing, Charisa. Like, how can you possibly want to go there and just take like an open shot to the face? And then what's so crazy is like, even if you think like, okay, but it's like hitting the jaw, like it's not in the temple or whatever. I'm watching this stupid event because I'm just like, okay, I just want to see what the hell happens with Paige here, right? Because I'm like,
I just want to see Paige get knocked out, but I knew she wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, she just lost. She just lost to the porn star girl.
To influencer,
She's not okay. Hold on. She's not an influencer though. It's like
they are considered influencers because before she was doing that, she still had I don't know if it was TikTok or the other one, but she became big in London because she's friends with Ebony. She's Ebony Bridges' friend. They trained together, and she wasn't doing OnlyFans at the time. She was doing other stuff. She was actually doing content creation. But to be fair, England.
To be fair, she's training her ass off, and her boxing was good. Like, did you watch that fight?
I just saw the clips because it's another one of those. Like, I don't like watching the content. I don't like watching the content creator stuff. Yeah. I just think sometimes it's just a little too much.
But she was good though. To be fair, like kudos where it's deserved because she had knocked out her first few opponents.
Yeah, I did see that.
So she was doing well. She was getting well, and then I mean, she held her own against Paige. Like I had that she won. Anyways, I'm watching this stupid power slap just to see what happens to Paige, right? Because I'm like, holy cow, this is like the end of your career if you lose the slap.
Yes. Yeah.
But what would? And then I'm like, and I'm watching, and you're like, oh boy, these people just taking shots. But the number of people that did the clubbing, Raine, and what that means is when they hit and it goes like to the temple, right? Like they essentially the person misses the slap. And instead just wails you into the temple. Like, this cannot be good for people. Like,
this is one of the reasons why I don't like regular sports, because there's no back. Like, I like combat sports because you don't know what's going to happen. It's a back and forth.
Right.
In power slap, you're going to get slapped. And you're either going to get a beautiful red mark on your face and, you might wince, whatever. But I don't think they're allowed to flinch, right? Or you get knocked out because they hit you really good. I was like, it's just not for me. Not exciting.
No. It's the craziest thing. Like it's so weird. But is the Paige fight still in the possibility for you?
I don't think she's ever coming back. I really don't. I don't think she has it in her. I just don't think. I know people are like, oh, she has a dog in her and she wants to say she has it in her even when she went to there. I'm like, you kept running. Like, literally, they said that I was still supposed to fight you. We had a date and never got. But I also don't think she's like taking anything seriously, because I know that she wasn't going to make the weight that we were originally contracted at. They changed our weight to like 135, and they said even if she made that would be lucky. And I was like, I'll go up. I don't care. I'm like, it's Paige, and at the time she was a money fight, so of course. But like, you're not taking anything seriously. And then after that, it was like you saw nothing from her. And then instead of coming back like you could have, because it seems like Feldman would have brought her back because she still has the numbers and she still brings viewership, right? she chooses not to. She chooses instead to go ahead and like go do power slap and go do boxing. I almost want to be like, let me get into boxing because I want to fight her, and that's what the was it the other girl that calls herself Killer Bee, the one from
Taylor Starling? Or
the Asian girl.
B-Win.
Yeah, her, and then there's another girl that jumped in there, and I can't remember where she's from, that jumped onto those cards because they want to fight her.
Yeah,
and they're real actual.
Yeah, B-Win,
actual fighters.
B-Win, who's from ONE FC fame. She's out in California, out your guys' way.
Yep.
And she was saying before, she's like, I'm going to win this fight, and then I'm going to call out Paige.
So I was the card, for RIZIN, and there's 11 bouts. 2 of them are female bouts. And for you, does it feel like more special that you are going to another country? You're going to Japan, right? And you're a female fighter, and you're an American female fighter fighting in another country. Does that feel like a little more special for you?
Oh, 100%. And like I've been told that though, in that country, they love fighting. They love this stuff. Gabby trained at Millennia. She's been training at Millennia because of Lorenz. So watching her do her fights and seeing the love that she gets over here, they love it. And then being able to bring Bkfc and for them to, because they saw one guy's match, so it's like now you get to see what the females bring, and us females are exciting, and you got 2 very exciting fighters because again, Ty is forward pressure and I've got no quit, so it's gonna be fun. It's fun, and it's super exciting that I get to do it in front of 40,000 people and bring all these new eyes to Bkfc, and I really feel like we're gonna steal that show. I don't care about John Dodson. I don't care about Pacquiao. I love Pacquiao, but when it comes to it, we're gonna steal the show. We're just like I did with Starling when it was supposed to be Paige stealing the show for that bare knuckle. People talked about our fight. Yes, there was a lot more, I think, publicity when it came to Paige, but when you saw everything else, like Tyson Fury wrote an article about our fight, and he didn't know our names. He just saw the pictures. My jujitsu professor was like, "You're famous in Brazil," because there was a picture that my coach took of me and her sitting next to each other with our swelling right after the fight. And they used that, I guess, in the Senate to talk about why girls shouldn't fight. but it was things like that. It's crazy. And it was us. It wasn't Paige, and yes, Paige and Britton had their moment, but me and her, like how much exposure we got and like making a name. I never had that until I went to Bkfc. Like it just the numbers rose like crazy, and I think it's just gonna do the same over there. And it's fun because if Horizon, we're gonna be known. It's gonna be like anytime they talk about the female fights, we're gonna be brought up. Just like anytime they talk about female crazy fights, me and Starling are brought up. So I love this, making history again. I love it.
I cannot wait. It's honestly going to be so exciting, guys. Don't miss it. Don't even think about missing it. It's Super RIZIN 3, July 28th. Saturday, July 28th is the right date. I apologize. Saturday, July 28th.
Stay right. Just the name.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. It is going to be incredible. I cannot wait. Charisa, thank you so much for coming back on the podcast. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you get to meet Raine. Raine, I'm glad that you get to meet her because Charisa was.
I know.
Now you're going to see each other at the grocery store all the time. It's going to be good. The thing is, too, is Raine, Charisa was our very first ever bare knuckle fighter.
Wow.
On the podcast. So like I'm a huge fan of Bkfc, and I've been following it ever since. So I'm so excited. But Charisa, the last time you're on the podcast, I didn't ask you. I've been doing something different with all our guests moving forward for, I don't know, maybe over a year now, I guess. So we've had lots of guests answer this question. So I just want to end off, and I'll give you a moment to say something as well. But my last question to you is a question that my mom used to ask me almost every day of my life growing up. And I want to ask it to you. So Charisa Sigala, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
Oh, I am ecstatic. I would say 10 or higher, if you could say 20. Because right now I just feel like everything's going right. You know, I do feel like everybody has trials and tribulations that they go through. And it's all for a reason. For me, it was getting back in here. And I was healed since last August. And we've been trying to get a fight. And I just feel like everything's come together like it's supposed to. So, you know, and then uh, I was supposed to be in the LA card, and then there was things that happened. So, but I got to go watch the Pachanga fight. I saw the LA. I was there in the audience at the LA card. So I just feel like everything has come to plan how it's supposed to be, and so I'm excited to get back in there. I feel like this is a bigger opportunity than even doing the fights in LA would have been. So, you know, I am over the moon ecstatic. I'm doing what I love. I am being able to be a role model for my kids to show them. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter, you know, what you think. What you think you can or cannot do. If you really want to do something and you put your mind to it, it will fall in place. Because there was a point when quarantine happened, I was like, I don't know, because that's going to be time off with MMA and not having anything, and not knowing really, because I was doing like one-offs with Combate. I didn't have anything, no deal signed with any MMA. So I was like, we'll see how much longer. And then Bkfc came around. So, you know, things just fall into place when they should. And right now that's how it feels. So I am so happy. You know, God is good. Everything's good right now. So I'm happy.
I'm so happy for you, Charisa. Thank you so much for coming back on the podcast. Like, honestly, it is so great to have you back. I'm so happy for everything that's happening to you. Look, any fight card that you missed out on doesn't matter now, because now you're going to Japan. It's a bucket list thing for you. It's kick ass. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait to watch you and cheer you on. Before we let you go, is there anything that you want to say to fans, viewers, and listeners of the podcast?
Make sure you tune in on July 28th. If you're in Japan, it'd be the 29th. But make sure you tune in. If you can, it's better to be there. I heard your previous one saying he's going. So, you know, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime thing for me. And I just can't wait to put on the show that everybody knows that I'm going to put on. People know, even her, like from what I've been told, because I try to stay away from looking at everything. The only thing I look at with opponents is like what their style was when they fought, so you know a little bit of what you're going into and what to expect. But even her, she knows it's that kind of fight, and she's excited for it just as much as I am. So I love that I have a game opponent. So knowing that there's two of us game is going to make it even more exciting. We're going to steal that show. So tune in.
No doubt about it. Charisa, thank you so much for joining the podcast. I can't wait to watch it. Guys, make sure you check it out. And Charisa, we'll talk to you again. Enjoy the trip. Have a safe flight. Enjoy everything. Enjoy this moment, because this is incredible for you. And congratulations to you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. I'll talk to you after the win.
Definitely. Okay. See ya. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Bye.
All right. Raine, that was our interview with Charisa Bkfc sweetheart Sigala. She fights this weekend in Japan. Crazy, crazy fight. What did you think about Charisa?
Oh, I think she's amazing, and I'm glad to know that we're actually neighbors. So, yeah, I think I'm really excited for her, especially that it's her first time, right, to go overseas and fight overseas. So I hope that she would bring back a victory with her.
Yeah, it is going to be absolutely bonkers. I can't wait to watch it. That's going to be a fantastic card. Your king, Manny Pacquiao? What is he? King?
Oh, Manny Pacquiao?
Lord,
no, he's
Lord
like,
Supreme.
I don't know. I think he was a senator before. I don't know what he's doing now.
Regardless, he's a national hero, a national treasure. He's on the card as well. Yeah, very excited. So thank you to Charisa Sigala. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're here because of her, please do check us out. Please follow and subscribe to the Fight Insight podcast. We're on Instagram, here on YouTube, Spotify, wherever it is. Just follow, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and tell your friends about us, because we really want to grow. We are into episode 181, I think it is, on this episode. So boy, oh boy. And we keep going. Next week on the podcast, Raine. We've interviewed her already, so we know what's happening. Ms. Amber Fields. I can't believe we got to speak to her. 1 million plus followers. She's a ring card girl. She works with MVP, Most Valuable Promotions. And most importantly, she has her first pro debut boxing fight coming up at Misfits Boxing on August 10th, which is going to be an incredible night of fights. Misfits Boxing blowing stuff up, Raine, with the Elbrook and Paige Vanzant and doing everything that they're doing. The fights are high quality. Amber Fields assures us that she is kicking ass, training hard, going to perform very well. I really like, these cards. I think they're bringing excitement to the game. Now, other people that we have to talk about, some friends of the podcast update. Let me put my little banner so we know that we are doing that. Friends of the podcast update, of course, if you want to check out other audio podcasts like ours, go to Rageworks Podcast Network at rageworksnetwork.com. FLA 16, Raine. It's coming. September 21st in Pictou, Nova Scotia. Tickets are on sale now, Raine. Do you understand? On sale now at fightleagueatlantic.com. It's going to be an incredible night. You've got FLA 16, which is the MMA card. And then earlier that day, you've got FLA Tap or Tag 3, which is a tag team tournament BJJ event. Insanity, Raine. I still don't know what's going on with that. Every week, I get closer to the event, but I still do not know what's happening. All I know is that I'm very excited for a BJJ tournament tag team in a cage. Ooh. And then you go into the MMA fights in the evening. The fights are going to be starting to, by the time this podcast airs, a few of the fights will already be announced. I heard that there are 2 female fights on the card. So very excited because Raine, like at Up Next Fighting, like we don't always get the female fights. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for when that happens. That's going to be big. Jade Masson Wong, she's getting her title shot in Bkfc. That's coming up. We've got friend of the podcast, well, both friends of the podcast, Britton Hart versus Taylor Killaby Starling. That fight is coming up for in August as well. And then what else we got going on? August 3rd for that one?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Men, our days are packed. We've got so many fights, Raine. I don't even know everything going on. But yeah, very, very excited for everything that is to come.
Oh, yeah. And then a week after FLA 16, September 28th, will be Up Next Fighting 20. UNF 20 tickets are now on sale for this milestone event for Up Next Fighting. So go get your tickets at upnextfighting.com.
Raine, I need you to cut a promo for Fight League Atlantic because you do it much better than me. Okay? So September 20. Okay, I need you to do one. FightLeagueAtlantic.com. September 21st. FLA 16. Okay, go.
FLA 16 is coming up September 21st. Go get your tickets now on FightLeagueAtlantic.com.
It's going to be incredible. Don't you dare miss it. Yeah. All right, they're good. See, I'll cut that, and it will look way better than if I just do me all the time. We're coming off this last weekend. We had Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. Did you watch it?
I watched the highlights. I didn't get to watch like the actual pay-per-view.
There's so much drama about this fight, Raine.
I know.
What did you hear about it, or what have you been seeing online? I want to get like the sense of like where you're coming from with this.
Well, the first thing that I heard about it was Conor McGregor tweeting out that he fired Mike Perry for like not winning.
Yeah. Okay, you want to go? Hold on, you want to go right to there. Did you see what your boy Timmy B posted?
No? What did you post?
You should really follow us on Instagram.
I don't know. I blocked you. So.
Raine, Mystic Timmy strikes again. Do you understand? At 12:59 a.m., Timmy B on Twitter posts, honestly, Bkfc should release Mike Perry. This is nonsense. At 1:18, so a mere 19 minutes after I post that, Conor McGregor posts on Twitter, hey, Mike, you're released, and you can go and compete in your smelly, dirty boxing championship thing. The smell of it, good luck, you're fired. I called it, Raine.
Are you sure Conor's not following you?
I think Conor probably is following me under like a burner account, obviously, But here's the thing, and I don't know if this is if this qualifies for the. Oh, do I not have a thing for the conspiracy of the week? Yeah, we really got to do something for that. Look, Raine, I think you fire him. Legit. I really do think that you fire Mike Perry out of Bkfc for this. Thoughts, comments?
Why though?
Because he embarrasses your organization. He is the king of violence. He is the face of Bkfc.
Okay.
And then he goes out there and gets mollywopped, or whatever the term is, by Jake Paul. He doesn't even throw jabs. Like I trained with like a high school kid yesterday who's been to the gym like for a week. And that kid was throwing more jabs than Mike Perry threw. Mike Perry just stands there with his hands down. He's not Anderson Silva. He's not Bobby King Green with like slick head movements, slipping jabs and crosses. He just stands there with his hands down and gets punched in the face 20 times.
In
his corner, Raine. Do you know who was in his corner?
Who?
His wife, Latori. Do you know how many times she has trained in any martial art? Nobody does, Raine, but it's not a lot. That's for sure. You are in the biggest fight of your life, and you can't find any boxing coach to walk with you? You've never boxed before, and you bring your wife out? Makes zero sense. You were not taking this seriously, is the way that I look at this. You weren't taking this seriously. You were going out for a payday. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, but like you mentioned, he's never boxed before until that night, right? And that could be one of those things where he probably, he probably saw the fight as like, okay, I'm going to make money off of this, whether I win or lose, right? So he still did it. But to me, I don't know if he underestimated Jake Paul too. Where in Tim, it's like, okay, well, I'm a BKFC fighter. Who is this guy anyway? But here's the thing, though. He fought a guy who's taller than him and heavier than him. So is that like something that kind of like worked against him, or is that? I don't know. But like,
but wait, okay, but hold on. So a lot of people were saying that, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, he was much bigger than you. He was taller. He was much." We all knew that. We knew he's much bigger. You're standing there. You've done face-offs with him for like a month. You know this guy's bigger than you. So I don't get that argument, because I feel like, are you saying like, well, he was bigger than me anyways? And like people online, these stupid idiots are like, well, kudos to you, Mike. Like he was much bigger than you, but you still did it. Okay, but does that mean you had no intention of winning? Because then to me, that's a rigged fight. If you were going, well, this guy's bigger than me, he's stronger than me, I'm probably not going to win, then you shouldn't be going in, because then that's bullshit. People are betting on you. They're betting their hard-earned money on you. If you really had no intention of winning, that's a rigged fight in my book.
I don't think there was, that thought of him like to just go in and not really win at all, right? No intention of winning. I think he probably just underestimated his opponent. I think that's like the case here.
You're the king of violence, for God's sakes. Self-proclaimed king of violence. You fought in the UFC multiple times. You fought in Bkfc multiple times. You're a professional fighter. Even if what does underestimating him mean? Means you weren't training for it?
I don't know. But like, I mean, obviously I feel like he's trained for this. But I think there's still that thing about Jake Paul, where, and when you look at him, some people still see him as this guy who's an influencer. He's not really a boxer.
And we're going to talk about that next week with Amber Fields, about what does that really mean about being an influencer. But I mean, you've seen him fight. This isn't the first time. This isn't like where it's an 0-0 guy and you're like, oh shit, I thought he was like just a Disney kid. I didn't know that he could actually fight. You've seen him fight now. Fight, in air quotes if you're on audio only.
True. No? But like for me, what? No, I guess like for me, it's like there's no reason to like fire Mike Perry for something that he's done for the first time. Now, if he fights,
you embarrass my whole organization. If I'm David Feldman or I'm Conor McGregor, you've embarrassed my whole organization. You went out there And you shouldn't be taking a fight just to take a fight. You shouldn't be taking a fight
Mhm.
just for the money, which again, I do understand that you do it. But then you got to walk away, because I don't know how you go back to Bkfc and say that you're the baddest man on the planet and that you're the king of violence when you just got beat by Jake Paul.
True, I see that argument.
Murdered by Jake Paul, like really badly beat.
But then, when you go into a fight, there's always like a winner and a loser. And I get what you're saying, that he got murdered by Jake Paul, but that's always like the gamble, right?
He
But
didn't even. I don't even think Jake Paul had a cut on his face.
no, he did.
Like, okay, I think that was from when he was taking. I think that the cut on Jake Paul's face was when he was taking off his gloves in victory. I think the lace from his glove might have cut him. I'm just
No, I
teasing
think
you,
that was
but
like during the
I
fight.
know. I'm just teasing you.
during- No, but like to me, it's like, okay, so let's just say, fine, like they fire Mike Perry, right? So what is that then? What's that kind
It
of
tells
messaging to other fighters then, that they
the
cannot try somewhere else?
no. The message is you can go try somewhere else, but you better freaking try. You better actually take a fight that you think you can win, train your ass off, and go fight. You can't embarrass us elsewhere, because he did not do well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't do well. Did he? He had his moments for sure. I think it was the second round or third round. He looked like he was doing well. But I don't know, man. I think you fire him and you make a stance on it. Sorry. I mean, if he made all the money that he says he made, well, then maybe you don't even need to fight again. I don't know.
So if he
But
gets
you
fired
brought your.
so if he
Sorry.
gets fired from BKFC, what is he gonna do now? Is he just gonna try to pursue
Well,
boxing?
I don't know. But this is the danger of doing these kind of things, for these money fights, for this whatever, right? You potentially really ruin what else you've got. Like Francis Ngannou, where's he going next?
Mm-hmm.
You've lost 2 boxing fights. You got paid a lot. Great, congratulations. But now where do you go? I don't know. Like, your aura diminishes a bit. If you put up a good fight, if Mike Perry put up a good fight and still lost, I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying.
Okay, kind of like how Francis fought Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sure. Although I think Tyson Fury took it very easy on him, or there's an agreement, or there's a conspiracy there. I believe there's something weird there. But then when he fought Anthony Joshua was like, screw this, I'm just going to kill you. And he did. Okay, let's go to the wife in the corner, Raine. You're telling me not one freaking boxing coach on the planet would have cornered you for free to get the exposure, to be there and to help you? The fact that he brings his wife out there makes me think this fight was fake, for sure. Fake / he wasn't trying to win / he wasn't meant to win / whatever. I don't care what word you want to use. Why on earth would your wife be there? And I know she's been in his corner before in the UFC, but that's your sport. That's where, like, you felt at home, and at the time he was saying, like, I don't need a coach. Like, I know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing in boxing. Why
Maybe
on
that's what
earth
he
would you have
thought.
your wife?
Maybe that's what he thought, and maybe that's like a lesson learned for him.
Stupid. What's wrong with your friends, your family? Even if you're the wife, Raine, if you're Mike Perry's wife and he says to you, hey, Raine, you know what? I think you should be in my corner for the fight. Don't you say, hey, idiot, maybe you bring an actual boxing coach?
I would probably say, are you sure about this? But the thing is, I don't know what's going on with, like, if let's just say he asked his wife, hey, do you want to be in my corner for this fight? And then what if she had said, are you sure? Maybe you should need like a coach with you, blah, blah, blah. This is your first time doing like a boxing event, blah, blah, blah. But then what if Mike Perry was more comfortable having his wife, because that's been his.
And that's another mental problem. Then that's another mental gap that you need to overcome. There's no way that you would be like, well, I really want my wife in my corner. I don't know. No.
I know
There's
some
something weird
athletes
there.
operate, by routines. Like, they love routines. So he's probably one of those.
I don't know. Biggest moment of your life, a different sport. Had you won that fight, your life changes. Why would you not be doing everything possible in your power to win that fight? Unless conspiracy of the week.
Ding, 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 ding.
Something was bullcrap about it. I don't like it. I don't
I
like it,
know.
Raine.
To me, the only thing I can think of is he underestimated his opponent.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a thing. Yeah, I don't know. What else? What else you got about this Jake Paul Mike Perry fight? Anything else you want to talk about?
About the press conference after the fight, which is what I saw on YouTube. There was a soundbite of Jake Paul calling out Conor McGregor.
I thought he
So
called out Alex Pereira
he did that. Well, that one was at the after the fight
in the ring.
in the
Yeah,
ring, yes.
yeah,
And there's that one, and then there's the post-fight press conference wherein he talked about calling out Conor
yeah,
McGregor.
yeah.
Which one?
Okay.
Okay,
What do
okay,
you?
okay.
What do
In a crazy world wherein there's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Now Jake
you?
Paul calls out Alex Pereira. And now Jake Paul's like, "Hey Connor,
Yeah.
why don't we get into a fight?" Which one would you rather see? Like if it were to happen, which one would you rather see?
Conor McGregor.
Okay.
And the only reason I say Conor McGregor is because he's already he's not important anymore, anyways, to the current UFC standings and world. You send Alex Pereira out there and something happens and he loses, holy shit. You just have your 2-time, possibly 3-division champion losing to Jake Paul. Terrible for his stock. Terrible, terrible. You cannot do that. And I think there's no way in hell Dana White allows that to happen as long as Alex is under contract. Conor McGregor, sure. You've already screwed around and pissed around and done whatever. If Dana White or the UFC can make some money off co-promoting that, go ahead, do that. Who cares? Right?
That's good. Okay.
Get all the steroids you want, juice up to 200 something pounds, because I mean that would be a big mismatch in weight there too, right? That's going to be like a 30-pound difference. I mean, I don't know, like, what is Conor fighting at, right? Like 155 is lightweight, so I mean, he's got to go up to 200 pounds.
Yeah, because Jake Paul fought what at like 200 pounds.
He was 200 something, yeah,
yeah,
210, 220. They were saying. So you're gonna have to like pump up a lot,
Okay.
During that time, how many women is he gonna throw off a yacht with all his roid rage? Just women everywhere.
Oh no.
Women be damned. Like women be careful. I don't know, Raine. Why? Who do you want him?
No, actually that would have been my pick too, Connor. Because like to me, I just want to see him fight. That's mostly it.
Connor fight?
Yeah.
I think it would be so. I think it would be so funny if Connor fights him instead of Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's still sitting there.
Oh my God, no!
Am I next? Am I next ever? No. Okay. Yeah. Do we want to talk about how Jake Paul looked?
What during the
physically looked? Physically looked. I don't see anybody commenting on this, but did you see how he looked?
I didn't really focus on that. I was mostly.
Are you saying that because your husband's around?
No, no. It's mostly. I noticed the basically the size difference, right? Of how like taller he was and like how bigger he looked compared to Mike Perry. That's what I mostly saw.
He's very puffy. And I don't see anyone commenting about it. He's very puffy. Like he's not shredded, defined, or like
what? Like he's inflated.
He looks, yeah, like he looks like if you pushed him, like if you poked him, he would go.
Gonna deflate.
Yeah, like a marshmallow man, or he looks very puffy, which to me, and again, I'm no scientist or anything, but to me makes it think like he may not be au natural. He looks very puffy. Like he's not like, it's not like, not shredded. And I know he's a big boy, but like there's a difference, if you look at him versus like a Cyril Gahn, or you look at him versus like a whatever, like it's a different body type, that's for sure. So it's interesting. I don't know what I'm saying. Nothing. I'm not saying anything that's gonna get me in trouble. But I don't know. What else? What else about the fight or the night? So you don't think he should get fired though, Mike Perry?
No, I don't think so. Because like for me, it's like this is a guy who tried something else. Yes, he failed. Yes, he didn't get the job done. I do understand the logic or the argument of like, okay, he embarrassed Bkfc, whatever. But the thing is, like, for me, it's like, that's always the risk of when you try something new, when you get out of your comfort zone, you will either win or you will lose. And
Yeah.
honestly, that is something that he dared to try. And unfortunately, it didn't work out well for him.
And you believe, from what you saw, and again, you didn't watch the whole fight or whatever, but you believe that he actually tried to win the fight.
I mean, I watched the highlights.
Well, highlights is different. Like when you watch the,
Well, was
like,
it
you know what I
more
mean?
like
Like,
low light?
no, I just mean like when you watch everything as a whole and you
Yeah.
see how the whole thing transpires. Like, I don't know. I just think the wife in the corner, the weight difference and the size difference. For some reason, I didn't think it would be that much.
See, okay, now I just thought about this. What if he actually wanted a coach in his corner, and then the wife said, "Hey, you've always had me in your corner."
No.
'Cause that would have been something that I would tell my husband. What's up? You've always had me in your corner.
But he hasn't always had her in the corner. He's had her a few times.
Okay.
Doesn't always have her. And guess what, Raine? That's when it's time for misogyny here. That's where the man needs to take a stand and go, listen, my darling wife, you are not going to be in my corner. You can be cage side, you can do whatever, you can walk out with me, whatever, but you're not in my corner. I need to mess this fool up. And I need my coach. So, honey, hey, I'll take you to Disneyland after, right? Whatever. We'll go with the kids. But for this fight, this most important fight of my life, I need a boxing coach so that when things start going bad, he can tell me what to do.
Fine. Only if you do laundry and the dishes for a month.
Forget it. Come in my corner. Fine. Forget it. I'm not doing laundry. I'm not doing dishes. No, like, I don't know, Raine. I don't know. Weird. Yeah. All right. What one last thing maybe we'll hit up. It is so important that people know how to promote themselves and stuff like that. We talk about that. But did you see the interview? The girl that Amanda Serrano fought? Did you see her interview the day before with Ariel Helwani? Did you hear about it? No, obviously the look is like you have no clue what I'm talking about. Okay. The girl that Amanda Serrano fought, which I don't know who she is and whatever, and this girl gets murdered so badly. Like, I don't know that she threw a punch. And Amanda Serrano just comes out and bap, 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 just like hits her with a 17,000 piece combo. Okay. Here's the interview the day before when they're doing the ceremonial weigh-ins. Ariel Helwani goes to talk to her to do like an interview, and this is how it goes. I've cut it up. Please, YouTube, don't cut this.
You pull up the upset on Saturday night.
I'm confident because I know how hard I work for this. And
You're going to make it happen.
I'm going to make it happen.
All right. Well, we look forward to that. Thank you so much.
She looked nervous. She looked nervous in that interview. Like, not sure if she can really get the job done.
She didn't. Raine, I don't like. She was so lost. If you're on audio only, like she's just looking at Ariel, like, please God help me, like help. Like that was crazy. She was very starstruck and very or like in the moment, lost in the moment.
Yeah.
If you're saying nervous, as in you think like she's really not going to win.
Well, like, so I don't know
Yikes.
her, but like, was that like her first like really big like like fight? Like,
First
I don't
time
know.
she's ever been let out of the house.
No, like a first experience of like, hey, this is like a bigger promotion, all the lights, the cameras, and the people interviewing me and all that. That's why it is very essential for fighters to learn, like from, when they start their careers. And if this is something that they really want to pursue, I think it's really vital for fighters to like practice their interview skills, how they project in front of the camera, how they look in front of the camera, how they respond to people asking them questions, especially on fight week. Kind of like what Anthony Romero told us. He's like, hey, it's fight week, but you know what? Yeah, I'm doing a lot of training, but I need to like learn how to handle this type of like demand. Once you become a professional fighter who's in the big leagues, that is something that you will face. And I don't know if that's like a case here wherein that was like her first experience of like, oh God, there's like these people interviewing me. I don't really know. Okay, now this guy's interviewing me. I used to watch this guy, blah blah blah, and like I don't know what to say. I'm starstruck. So
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So I'm looking her up. Her name is Stevie
Stephanie
Morgan.
or Stevie. Okay.
Stevie Morgan. So she loses to Amanda Serrano, who has a record of 46-2-1.
Oh God,
Stevie's record is 14-2
with 13
Okay.
knockouts.
No, what is it?
Yeah, well, that was
Yeah, it
under
is.
her
Okay,
name
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Whoa, very good. Like you're very detail oriented. Okay, so get this. So Amanda Serrano has 49 professional fights, and this girl has 16. So slight mismatch. And now, mind you, this girl doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, so that says something. But I'm going to go down to her next few wins. Okay, the records of the girls that she beat: 12-10, 14-8, 13-13, 2-0, 1-0, 16-19, 25-28. This is how boxing goes, Raine. These girls go out and they find these cans to beat, and they build up this record. And now she builds up a 14-2 record and gets put up against Amanda Serrano, who I guess maybe hasn't been beating cans. I don't know. But I mean, this fight, she's definitely, I mean, it's just such a mismatch.
Yeah, and then what's unfortunate is that, especially for like female fighters, sometimes there's just not a lot of like options and opportunities.
Yes, sure.
So
Yeah, and that is the problem, right? That maybe the competition is in there and whatever, but there's something to be said with some weird, you know what I mean? I don't know,
mismatch.
Raine. I think we can turn you into a pro boxer pretty quick.
I have a boxing glove right
I,
there, but
do
it's
you?
only right there. If you lose the name, you'll see it right there.
Okay, but you only need one? You
I
only
only
need
have
one
one
glove?
though, but it's
That's
signed by
fine.
Canelo.
That's fine. Raine, the people that we're gonna have you fight, they might I mean, they might have zero gloves. I don't know.
Oh,
Like
really?
don't worry. We'll set this up and you'll kick some butt. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to look at the record of the people that Amanda Serrano has faced, but I don't know. Just freaking crazy. Like that girl. I felt really bad for her, man, and then to see her get whooped the next day. But
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
Raine, all we know is that the fight game is very weird, and there's a bunch of weird shenanigans going on at all times, man. It's
Yeah.
it's a weird thing, man. You got to be careful, you know. That said, this weekend, go watch Charisa Sigala,
Risen 3, right?
RIZIN,
Is it Risen? Risen 3.
Super RIZIN 3, or whatever the heck this card is called. Go watch it. Go cheer her on.
Woohoo!
Now, I do want to say, I did not say in the interview with Charisa that former guest of the podcast, probably one of the greatest guests that we've ever had on a podcast, El
Me?
Necio. Well, yes, fine.
Oh.
You. Okay, second best guest ever. El Necio, David Diaz. El Necio, El Perro Necio. He is cornering Ty Emery against Charisa Sigala. I didn't want to say that in the interview because I don't want to make things weird for anyone, but I'm saying that now. That is crazy. And you can, I mean, if you saw the interview with David Diaz and you're not following him on Instagram, you're crazy. This dude is losing it in Japan.
He's going to be a thong model. So
he's a thong model in Japan. Raine, he's out there. He's doing like rock karaoke with people. But he landed in Japan, and within minutes, he's at some bar with these chicks. Like this dude is living the life. He is hilarious. I love
he's
him.
going to come back married and
might have a few wives. I don't know how things are going to go for him, but he looks like he's living up the life. But he is cornering Ty Emery against our friend Charisa Sigala. So either way, I want it to be a wonderful fight. That's all I ever want for these people, right? I want them to have an amazing fight, put on a great performance. Win or lose, just come away with like being happy with your performance. That's what's most important. So good luck, Charisa.
I know.
Right. We are out of here. I think we're good on time. I think.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, we're good. Anything that you want to say before we get out of here?
No, don't forget to check out my Instagram page. If you want to order your custom vinyl banner, use the promo code Ringside Raine when you go order your banners from Live to Fight Design. So for more information, go to my Instagram at Ringside Raine, and that $10 that you will save will go towards my rescue group, which is Second Chances Rescue. So you save $10, we save dogs. So
can we go get Rose Namajunas on the podcast, please? Because she does a lot of stuff with saving animals.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yes.
I gotta go hit up my Sucker Punch friend and Brian Butler, and we'll see if we can get Rose on to speak about the dogs. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing she cares passionately about. Anyways, guys, we are out of here. Thank you so much for joining us again. Follow, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We had great guests on the podcast with Charisa Sigala. Next week, incredible guests with Amber Fields. After that, guest after guest after guest, fighters.
We'll have
Trevor Wells. We from the Ultimate Fighter fame and Up Next Fighting fame, and we have and then we're gonna have a bunch of FLA fighters as well. So the Fight League Atlantic, once those fights start getting announced and we start seeing who's on those cards, I'm gonna have some of those fighters on so we can help promote that card as well. And one day I will figure out what Tapper Tag 3 means and what the rule set is.
I'm excited. I'm curious now.
Raine, all right, have a good one, guys. Thank you so much. All right, see you, Raine.